Let's now talk about culture, identity, and ELT. We know that learning a second language is not about learning a language only. It involves so many issues related to the culture and identity of its learners and those who speak that language natively. So, we'll try to discuss them and the issues related to culture and identity in English language classrooms from various perspectives. In the beginning, I'll just talk about education, language, and development. Language can be defined as a shared set of codes which formulate a language, and it may also be seen as a generic communicative phenomena, especially in the concepts related to instruction. In ELT, teachers and students both use the language for writing as well as for reading, for speaking, and for listening as well. So both spoken and written languages are used in ELT classrooms. The students learn to read and write, and they learn the discourse of academic disciplines as they grow up in the learning process. When it comes to the discussion of language and education, both the definitions, language as a set of codes as well as a generic communicative phenomena, both are relevant because they both help us in understanding the learning of a language in an ELT classrooms. There is definitely a relationship. Popular beliefs are that there is a relationship between language and education, and we could see that in our classroom as well. Halliday actually looks into this, and he divided learning into three heuristic categories. Language learning. First one is language learning. Second one is learning through language, and then learning about the language. So all these things are related to ELT classrooms. In language learning, children develop an understanding of various linguistic components. For example, grammatical structures, vocabulary items, sounds. They develop also a communicative competence of both spoken and written forms. A teacher helps his students in learning a language through various activities, various curriculum, and all these materials and strategies by the teachers, they depend on the level of students. For example, at a beginning level, young children might be introduced a curriculum or easier instructional forms which they could understand quickly. At a secondary or post-secondary level, students might be expected to develop good skills for reading and writing, and they need to know and argue in discipline-specific way in the target language. These are the expectations according to various levels. Learning through language involves, for example, a language as a medium of instruction. So English has been a medium of instruction of higher education in Pakistan, and even in many English medium schools, it is a medium of instruction at lower levels as well. So this involves learning in classroom is accomplished by a certain language, and it becomes an important concern of ELT when it includes English as a medium of instruction. A teacher may impart a lecture, ask questions, orchestrate discussions, and assign reading and writing tasks when he wants his students to learn through language. So we learn various disciplines, various fields of knowledge through language as well. But if it is a target language in form of a foreign language like English, we also learn that language as well during this process. Then in the end, we see is the learning about language. Most of ELT classrooms and courses throughout the world also involve knowledge about the language as well. For example, knowledge about its vocabulary, grammar, and history. So if we look at the Pakistani environment, most of learners of English, both in the disciplines of English literature and in the discipline of English language teaching or linguistics, they have a fair idea, or they are expected to have a fair idea about the history and origin of English language. And as far as I know, most of the programs offered in various Pakistani universities do include such modules or topics which cover the history of English language as well. So while learning a language practically also involves learning the background knowledge about that language. So in any ELT program, teachers and course designers should keep these aspects of language in mind, so that students should be able to know them, and it is believed such knowledge would improve their learning process.